You're a man over 60. You've lived. You've worked hard. You've been through seasons, some amazing, some brutal. But lately, something's changed. Maybe it's subtle. Maybe not. Your mornings don't feel the same. Your confidence feels quieter. Your nights, well, they're not what they used to be. And deep down, you've started wondering. Is this just how it is now? You don't complain. That's not who you are. You chalk it up to age, stress, medication, or just life. But let me tell you something straight, this isn't about aging. This is about circulation. Yep. Blood flow. To your hands. To your heart. And yes, to your most important parts, down there. Now let me hit you with something you won't hear from your doctor during that rushed 8-minute appointment. What if the secret to turning things around wasn't a prescription? Wasn't a pump, wasn't a pill, and definitely wasn't a painful injection? What if it was hiding in plain sight? Right there in your pantry. Right there on aisle 4 of your grocery store. What if the secret to stronger reactions, the kind your partner notices, was nuts? Wait, what? I know. It sounds almost too simple. You've probably walked past them 100 times without a second thought. But inside those little shells, there's a powerhouse of circulation-boosting compounds, scientifically backed, natural, safe, and designed by nature to help men like you reclaim what matters most. Because here's the truth. What starts as a circulation issue quickly becomes a confidence issue. Then it becomes a communication issue. And before you know it, you're sleeping further apart, physically and emotionally, than you ever meant to. I've had men in my office break down, not because they were weak, but because no one ever told them the truth. They were silently carrying the shame of feeling less than, when really, their body was just asking for better fuel. You see, blood flow isn't about ego. It's about vitality. It's about living with energy. Feeling like yourself again. Waking up ready for the day, not dragging yourself into it. And if you've been relying on pills, I get it. Quick fixes are tempting. But they don't fix the root. They mask. They fade. And worst of all, they make you forget what real health feels like. So in this video, I'm going to reveal the top 3 essential nuts that naturally improve circulation, especially where it counts. Collision, you'll learn why they work. Collision, how to eat them the right way. Collision, what you're probably doing wrong. And why most men are missing number 2 completely. But hey, don't just listen. I want you involved. Quick question before we dive in. Have you ever tried using natural foods to improve your health down there? Drop a peanuts in the comments if you have, or a pill if pills were your only option. And before we go any further, do yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now. Not for me, for you. Because the truth is, men who wait keep waiting. But men who take action get results. And if you don't plan to hit that button today, comment below and tell me why. Seriously. I want to know what's stopping you. Because if you care enough to still be watching, you care enough to start thriving again. Let's get into it. 3 nuts. 1 mission, reignite your blood flow, and take back your confidence. Let's talk about the first nut on the list. And no, this isn't just some snack. This one's a circulation commander. I want you to picture a man I know, Bill. 67 years old. Retired contractor. Used to swing hammers, now swings golf clubs. Healthy guy. Walks every morning. Eats whole grains. Doesn't smoke. You'd look at him and think, he's doing everything right. But one afternoon, he came into my office. Sat down, arms folded, and stared at the floor. I asked him what brought him in. And after a long pause, he finally looked up and said, "Doc, I'm eating clean. I'm active. But at night? Nothing. It's like the lights are on, but the power's gone. Now here's what most people get wrong. They jump straight to testosterone. But Bill? His testosterone levels were fine. The issue wasn't in his hormones. It was in his pipes, his circulation. You see, it's not about whether your body still wants to respond. It's about whether your blood can get there in the first place. And that's where walnuts come in. These little brain-shaped nuggets. They're not just heart-healthy. They're bedroom-friendly. They're rich in a compound called L-arginine, a natural amino acid that helps your body produce nitric oxide. Now I know that sounds like chemistry class, but stick with me. Nitric oxide is like nature's own version of, well, let's just say it opens doors. Literally. It tells your blood vessels to relax and expand. And when that happens, blood flows freely. To your brain. To your heart. To your manhood. Without enough nitric oxide, blood flow slows. Reactions weaken. Confidence crumbles. But add walnuts into your daily routine. You're giving your body the signal it's been missing. You're reminding your blood vessels how to breathe. Now here's where most guys mess this up. They nibble on a walnut here and there like it's a casual snack. Wrong move. This isn't about luck. It's about consistency. If you want results, real, noticeable results, you need 1 to 2 ounces a day. That's about a small handful. Not once a week. Not just on the days you're hoping for magic. Every day. Make it a routine. Not a reaction. I tell my patients, don't just wait for the bedroom. Start at the breakfast table. Throw crushed walnuts into your oatmeal. Blend them into a smoothie with banana, spinach, maybe a dash of cinnamon. It's delicious. It's natural. And best of all, it's quiet. No weird side effects. No explaining to your pharmacist why you need another refill. Just you, fueling your body the right way. The grown man way. The, I take care of myself now because I still want to feel alive, kind of way. And let me tell you, when your circulation improves, you feel it. In your posture. In your energy. In the way your partner looks at you when you're not even trying. But listen closely, walnuts help start the engine. They get things going. But they won't keep the engine purring all night on their own. That's where the next nut comes in. It's smaller. It's greener. And it's got a secret most men overlook completely. One study called it bedroom gold. I'll show you why, next. Let's keep going. Now let's move on to the second powerhouse nut on our list. And this one? You're gonna laugh when I say it, because you probably already have a bag sitting in your kitchen, opened, half-eaten, maybe even hidden from the grandkids. Pistachios. Yeah. Those little green gems you grab by the handful during late-night football games or Sunday reruns of Bonanza. Turns out, they're not just snacks. They're bedroom gold. Wait, what? Yep. That's the look I get every time I bring this up in clinic. Men blink. Their wives raise eyebrows. Pistachios, they ask. And I say it again, yes. Pistachios. You see, nature is subtle, but it's also brilliant. These salty, crunchy nuts do something inside your body that most pills try to imitate, without the side effects. Let me walk you through it. A clinical study from Turkey, one of the most respected ones in this space, took a group of men struggling with erectile dysfunction. For 3 weeks, they added just 1 serving of pistachios per day to their regular meals. That's it. No drugs. No routines. Just pistachios. And the results? Their erection scores improved. Their libido got stronger. And their satisfaction, physically and emotionally, went up. Without a single prescription bottle in sight. Why? Because pistachios are loaded with plant compounds, antioxidants, and healthy fats that help improve blood vessel flexibility and reduce cholesterol. That means better blood flow. Better heart health. And yes, better performance. Now, let me pause you right there. I know what you're thinking. Come on, doc, it's just a nut. But here's the thing, your blood vessels don't care how manly something looks. They care how something functions. And pistachios? They function beautifully. Just think about the experience of eating them. The smell when you crack one open. The creamy texture under the crunch. That hint of natural salt that hits your tongue just right. It's not just a snack, it's a sensory event. And now you know it's more than taste, it's quietly working behind the scenes, fueling your fire. But of course, just like anything that works, there's a right way and a wrong way. Let's start with the good. Roasted pistachios? That's fine. A little salt? Totally okay. But here's what kills the magic: added sugars, flavored coatings, and artificial oils. Those honey roasted, jalapeno dusted, barbecue explosion flavors. Toss 'em. They're delicious, sure. But they mess with your insulin, clog your arteries, and wipe out the very benefits you're hoping for. And portion control matters too. We're not talking about eating a bucket of pistachios like it's movie night. Just 20 to 30 nuts a day, that's your sweet spot. Enough to nourish your body, not enough to break your belt. Now look, I'm not gonna sit here and promise you'll feel like a 25-year-old again. That's not how aging works. But if you're 68, and you want to feel 48. If you want to wake up with a little more energy. If you want your spouse to glance over with that old familiar look. Then yeah, you've got to snack smarter. Because the truth is, there's nothing more powerful than a man who takes his health back quietly and consistently. No announcement. No flashy products. Just real food, real intention, and real results. And pistachios? They're your midday weapon. Something so simple. So easy. But so overlooked by almost every guy I talk to. But not you. Not anymore. And listen, if walnuts are the ignition key, and pistachios are the engine stabilizer, then what I'm about to share next. That's the oil. It's the circulation superhero almost no one talks about, because it's a little pricey. And a little misunderstood. But when used right, it can change the way your entire system flows. I'll show you exactly what it is. And the one mistake most men make when trying it. You ready? Let's keep going. Nut number 3, macadamia, the silent circulation hero. Let me tell you about Larry. Larry's 72. Tall guy, used to be a high school coach, one of those fellas who'd walk into a room and you'd straighten your posture without realizing it. But when he sat across from me in my office, shoulders slouched, eyes low, voice quiet, he said, "Doc, I think she's given up. And maybe I have too." See, he wasn't just talking about sex. He was talking about connection. That spark, the shared laughter, the unspoken glances, the gentle touches that say, "I still want you." But he made one change. Every morning, he added a small handful of macadamia nuts to his routine. Didn't overhaul his life. Didn't take a suitcase full of pills. Just made one steady commitment. 3 months later, his wife came into the clinic with him, beaming. She said, "We just came back from Savannah. First trip in years. We didn't even unpack our walking shoes." Now listen. I'm not saying macadamias alone turned the tides. But they sure didn't hurt. Here's why they matter. Macadamia nuts are loaded, and I mean loaded, with monounsaturated fats. These are the good fats. The heart lovers. The artery sweepers. They reduce inflammation, lower bad cholesterol, and improve endothelial function. That's the inner lining of your blood vessels. And you need those vessels working like clockwork if you want strong, consistent blood flow downstairs. Unlike peanuts, they don't mess with your blood sugar. They don't inflame your gut. They're smooth, subtle, and incredibly efficient. Now, let's talk about the mistake most men make. They look at macadamias and go, too expensive. And yeah, I get it. They're not cheap. But neither is another bottle of meds that gives you a migraine and a dry throat. Another date night that ends with you staring at the ceiling, wondering what went wrong. Another quiet sigh from your wife when she thinks you're asleep. Macadamias? You don't need a bag a day. You need a handful, maybe 5 to 7 nuts. That's it. You're not splurging. You're investing in your blood flow, your confidence, your manhood. And here's the deeper truth. This isn't just about performance. It's about identity. It's about proving to yourself that you're still in the game. You're not done. You're not broken. You're not some relic of who you used to be. You're still here. Still capable. Still a man, with desires, with fire, with a reason to wake up and show up. Because you know what hurts more than aging? Quitting. Quitting on your health. Quitting on your connection. Quitting on that part of you that still wants to feel alive. And that voice inside. Telling you, it's too late. That's not your truth. That's your fear pretending to be wisdom. So, next time you're at the store, don't skip past the macadamias. Pick 'em up. Pop a few. Smile to yourself, because you just made a move most men your age won't. You fed your heart. You fueled your flow. And you reclaimed a piece of your power. You know what no one talks about? The silence. That heavy, awkward silence that creeps in at bedtime. The fake yawns. The sudden interest in TV. The maybe tomorrow that turns into next week, next month, then never. It's not because you don't care. It's not because you don't want to. It's because, somewhere deep inside, you feel like your body has betrayed you. That part of you that once felt alive, powerful, like a man, now feels like it's on autopilot. Or worse, off completely. And that hurts. Not just physically, but emotionally. Because no matter how old you are, you still want to feel desirable. You still want to feel connected. You still want to feel like you. Flex biceps, but what if this wasn't the end? What if this, right now, was actually your turning point? Not a pill. Not a prescription. Not another embarrassing conversation with a doctor who doesn't look you in the eye. But a decision. A daily one. To eat differently. To live differently. To treat your body not like it's broken, but like it's worth repairing. A decision to stop shrinking, and start thriving. Because you're not here to fade away. You're here to fight for the fire that's still in you. And trust me, it's still there. Hammer and wrench, so here's your move, no fuss. No drama. Just action. Right arrow, start your morning with a small handful of walnuts. Boosts your nitric oxide. Gets the blood flowing where it matters. Right arrow in the afternoon, grab some pistachios, a smart snack that supports your natural rhythm and stamina. Right arrow then before dinner, 4 to 5 macadamia nuts. Not a bag. Not a bowl. Just a few. That's all it takes to feed your heart, your circulation. And your confidence. 3 nuts. 1 mission. Restore the man within. Brain quick recap before we wrap this up. Walnuts equals blood flow. Pistachios equals performance. Macadamias equals silent circulation hero. You don't need another supplement. You need a kitchen revolution. And it starts in your hands. Speaking head, but now, I want to hear from you. Which one of these do you already have in your pantry? Which one are you buying first? Let's compare notes in the comments. No shame. No fluff. Just grown men sharing what works. And look, if you're still watching and you haven't subscribed yet. Backhand index pointing right, don't let your attention go limp. Hit that button. You've come this far, finish the job. If you care enough to fix it quietly. Care enough to stay informed loudly. Subscribe to Thrive After 70, because this journey, it's just beginning. And if you're still hesitating, still unsure, direct hit, then comment below and tell me why. Be real. What's stopping you from taking your progress seriously? Pride? Fear? Doubt? Let's talk it out. No judgment. But promise me one thing. Don't be the man who knows what to do, and does nothing. Not when the price is your dignity. Not when the reward is a new chapter in your life. Sun behind small cloud, let me leave you with this. You are not alone. You are not broken. And you are definitely not done. Here on Thrive After 70, we're not just growing older. We're growing better, together. We're reclaiming the spark. Rewiring the body. And rising into a version of ourselves that doesn't just survive, but thrives. Subscribe. Stay strong. And I'll see you in the next one.